We are back, Wormhole Extremists, Nicole Rodriguez-Galdo.
Hello.
And Yvie Yvonne Cahill. Hello.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Doing good. I just realized that I look really rugged up compared to you guys.
Sorry, I've got you guys coming through my phone.
Oh, you're all good? You look great.
Look dressed for winter.
Yvie, you look fabulous.
I actually have a heater going on.
You winner, you.
You're
so winning.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, yes. You're a trivia winner. I'm so proud you finally made it.
Oh, thank you. I was saying just before we went live that I feel like it's been like a really long time coming, and it's still it surprised me because
a career defining moment for sure.
Yeah, I'm used to kind of being at the other end of the winning scale.
You mean the losing scale?
In light of exactly. in light of today's stream, I like to call it entropic cascade winning. So I'm getting like tremors.
Yvie!
Convulsions of disbelief.
Entropic cascade success.
Yeah, instead of failure.
Absolutely.
I actually wanted to ask Yvie.
Just real quick though, I wanna insert. Jacob Olihar said, "I watched the trivia from yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Especially loved the question about the derogatory nicknames given to Scott by Greer. Kudos to whoever came up with it, Yvie."
That was my question.
You're
I wouldn't have known the
You
answer
were
unless
so
I'd
aggressive.
actively researched it. I think I just watched that episode like a few days earlier, and it was nice and fresh in my head. So
there you
I'm
go.
like, I'm gonna stump some of these Stargate universe experts.
If Will was on,
would be
Will would have
massively
had a
aggressive. It
crack
was
at it. He may not have gotten it, but he would have been close. That dude.
Yeah.
I say
that
Yvie
dude's
was
like a sponge.
He is.
I
Like
say
a
she was
sponge.
massively aggressive. I mean, in her questions, Yvie is not massively aggressive. That's me. So yeah, I just want to say, how did it feel? Colin Cunningham got to witness your win. You managed to beat everybody. Were there any questions where you were like, "Oh, I am screwed"?
I was kind of mad that I didn't remember the McKay one about the current.
Oh,
the electrical
the leaky
current,
pipes.
The leaky pipes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, my question. Sorry, Yvie, but you won with my other question. So how did it feel winning with my question?
It was a good feeling.
Absolutely.
I wanted you to win. I didn't act like it, but I really wanted you to win, and I wanted you to win fair and square. And you beat Linda, and it was beautiful. And I'm so proud. I feel like I know I'm younger, but I feel like a proud mama hen, as Terry Jeffords would say.
Do you guys don't have Father's Day, do you?
We do, but I think it's in
Not today.
September.
Okay.
Happy Father's Day, everyone, by the way.
Happy Father's Day to my dad,
happy Father's Day.
David A. Reed.
Yeah.
I'm not a junior.
Yes.
Our middle names are different, so I wanted to send a special Father's Day greeting to my dad. I love you. Thank you for everything that you have, that you continue to do in my life, and thank you with Mom and everything else that's going on. So some of you know about my mother, some others don't, but he gets put through the ringer. But with dealing with a lot, but I don't thank him enough.
Okay.
So love you, Dad.
Oh, well, happy Father's Day to David Sr.
Thank you.
Yes.
We have
Happy Father's Day.
We have artwork from Adam.
Yes.
So
can I just say, as we're going into this artwork, these are some great episodes. This is going to be a good time.
I know.
I'm not complaining this week, guys. I'm not complaining this week.
I consider Learning Curve the quintessential chicken soup episode of Stargate. When you get done with this episode, it's like, I love this story. It's a sweet story. So
it's quite a warm and fuzzy feeling considering the topic.
Exactly.
Because it's like, it's pretty dark when you think about it, but we'll get into that.
Well, let's...
also, I was going to say just really quickly, Lockwatcher asked in the top chat, so how many times has Nicole won as opposed to Yvie? This is my first time, and we've been playing
I've won
trivia
twice
for 3
only.
years.
So Yvie's won
You've
half
won more than twice.
of what I've got. No, I haven't. I won twice.
More than
I checked.
twice.
No,
Really?
twice.
No,
I
she's won
checked.
twice.
I checked.
Yeah,
Okay.
she won back to back.
I got beat
Back
by
to
Summer.
back, right.
I got beat by William. I got beat by Darren. I've been beat.
But you're always
It's
up
all-
there.
it's all
You
good.
usually, you usually want,
Yeah,
you usually,
I'm proudly in the
first or
upper
second or
bracket
third.
of.
Yeah, I'm usually
Yeah.
dead last.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Images.
Images.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree, but that's okay.
For Learning Curve, do you guys
Mine
have the
was
link
just
to
struggling
Learning
to load,
Curve?
So
Oh wow.
it's open. It's just doing a bunch of spinning. So it's.
So
I'm gonna.
Adam
open the
had
YouTube
this
link and-
idea
Yeah, that
of
works.
like the Where is his? I'm gonna have to pull it up because he gave me the. Do you see it yet,
It's
Nicole?
like a tree of knowledge.
Yeah. It's
are
like
you
a
sharing
profile.
it on the stream? Because
yes.
I'm gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
Oh, it's magnificent. Oh,
It's like
is
a
it
profile
like
view
synaptic?
of synaptic connection. So it's almost like a profile view of her head.
Okay,
This is
because it looks like a tree of knowledge as well, which is really cool.
Right. So, learning curve, Adam says this is a tree with many branches or a brain, and its synapses and nerve endings. The endings are branches are meant to represent not only Marin's mind, but all the knowledge she absorbs and stores, and also the citizens of her people who then benefit from the knowledge she imparts. This is wild.
Did he deliberately put a point of origin in there on like the left? It looks like there's a point of origin, like almost kind of like built in there.
I see it too.
Yes.
No, I don't know. You'll have to ask him that.
I'd say it's
I have to look
completely
really close to my phone,
coincidental, but it's very cool. You're right. It does look like
It's a
the
great
point of origin.
coincidence. I love it. See,
this
look
is
at
really
that.
cool.
Look at that.
Well done, Adam. And then next one, he says, I have nothing quite so artistic with hidden meanings for point of view. But it is cool.
That is cool. Though.
I'm waiting for it to pop up on the stream. So start talking about it, and I'll get shocked in a moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's wrong? Are the pages?
I
I don't know why it
you?
won't load it. Yeah, it was only YouTube is doing it for me at the moment.
Isn't
Everything
that
else is not
weird?
loading properly.
Okay.
So I'm looking at it, and
The doctor,
wow,
the Dr. Carter.
Yeah,
her hair
Dr.
does
Carter.
look like a wig.
It's.
The
I
hair
mean,
does look like a wig.
this
to a
is.
degree, yes, it does.
This is crazy. So
It is cool though. It's very
Yeah.
cool.
at a.
Very
I love
awesome.
I love the lighting of the different rooms. This is this is wild. The character in front and center here really looks like a lot of the Jack O'Neill's Night Before Christmas. It's that kind of model.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is really cool.
I was actually wondering which one I recognized her face from, because her face looks really
Yeah.
similar. Like,
But
as in,
she's
looks
got,
like Amanda Tapping, but not.
Right, yeah.
You know,
It's
like
it's close enough. It's close enough.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
but
mean.
her
It's
hair,
like I don't know, I
early
don't know what the
season
term
4
is,
hair.
Yep.
but- Yeah,
Well done, guys.
coming in too early with the
Love
hair.
it.
It looks good. It looks good. I love it.
Okay, are we ready for Learning Curve?
I am ready to dive into some
I am.
smashing episodes.
Smashing.
Yes, I'm excited for
Absolutely
these 2 back to back.
smashing. It's gonna be really good.
I was actually trying to type out notes for point of view, and I was so excited. I was finding it hard to concentrate.
Really?
Yeah.
They're gonna kiss. This is a big deal, you know.
I know.
Like, we're not gonna get much more of
Oh
this.
my
We're gonna get
gosh.
one more, and then we've got to wait 4 seasons. Like, are
Yeah.
you kidding? Like, Lord.
I know.
4 seasons.
I know.
4 seasons.
Jacob said, "Is Adam creating AI art?" The same Adam
Mobius.
who
They kiss in
participated
Mobius,
yesterday?
but it's not from this
Yes.
alternative universe.
What was the
Adam
question,
is
Nicole?
the same Adam.
Yes.
Jacob said, "Is Adam creating AI art?" This is the same one.
Yes.
From trivia.
That's correct.
That is Adam
Evie's
AI.
husband.
Mhm.
Yep. Correcto.
He tried to take Evie's victory in the form of being her husband, and we said no. So he does not get a win for being married to her. So
Well, that is a win, but
not
a
by
different
my
kind of win.
rules.
Okay.
Yeah, he can be proud of you from a distance. You know, he can't take the trophy. So
All right, folks. Let's go ahead, and we're way late to this episode, so let's go ahead and start her up. And
Ready to
appreciate
go.
everyone joining us for Learning Curve, and we're gonna watch this one with you. Let me go ahead and actually pull up my time code, so we'll actually have synchronized playback. There we go. That would be helpful. Okay. All right. You all
be
set?
helpful.
Indeed.
Okay. Make sure that this works here real quick. There it goes. Okay. All right. Learning curve, everyone. In 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to Wormhole Extremists. My name is David Reed. I'm with Nicole Rodriguez Galdo
Hello.
and Yvie Cahill.
Hello.
And this is Learning Curve.
It is learning curve. So there's actually a griff coming up really soon, about the 42-second mark. The top chevron doesn't light up when the wormhole connects.
Oh, you're kidding.
I mean, it's the off-world gate, so
we'll allow it.
I love this
I always
set.
found the head things that the kids wear really weird. Like the way they hang off
yeah,
the
it's
back,
like
a
is
sock.
it Wee Willie Winky? You know, like the folktale? I think it's British.
No, that's something I haven't heard. I require pictures later.
Look it up.
I think the top chevron lit for me. It was just most of it was just cut off.
It was dark for the longest time,
Oh,
and then
it was.
kind of briefly flashed at the end.
Yeah, it did. That's
I love
true.
how he's just so willing to accept child labor.
Yeah. He's like, this is normal in this society, so we're going to be okay with it today. I think the Aztecs are really cool, and it's nice that Stargate, like, very briefly explores it.
Yeah. So there's a couple of really cool things in this episode. Andrew Airlie and Britt Irvin, who are these two characters here, they actually later appeared together in 3 TV movies.
What?
Really?
Including a movie called Personally Yours, which also featured Michael Welsh as Britt's on-screen brother.
Wow.
What is going on?
And a movie called Jack, which also featured Stargate alumni Paul McGillian and Glynis Davis.
It's a small world.
It is a small. Canada is a small
which is Canada.
World. Yeah.
I love how she's so robotic.
Yeah.
She does such a good job in this.
I think she's
really
a great actor. Yeah. I thought she would, like kids, they can't always nail it. And I think she nails it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I think Britt said in her interview with David just recently that she kind of had to reel in all of her natural kid instincts. You know, you can't really be excitable, and you have to sort of dial it all down because, she has like a primary function, I guess.
While I every day do nothing but let my kid instincts take over.
In Britain, what do you call what it is that she's wearing where it's not shorts, but it's a little bit longer?
Skirts.
3/4 lengths.
Culottes.
No, there's a word
we
for
call
it
them like
in
culottes.
Britain.
Me and my friends call shorts that long 3/4 lengths. We have trackies, but that's usually down to the foot.
I'll have to come up with it later.
Yeah.
So this is their Naquita generator, and if you look at, I think it's the Mark II or the Mark III Naquita generator, whichever one appears in oh God's sakes, the end of Atlanta season 1.
Yes,
you can actually see that this is a part of the inside of it, the middle of it. So
that's cool.
They took the same
so it's
kind
just sort of
of
shrunk
mold.
down.
No, it's that size, for sure.
Oh, it's that size. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will teach you.
I really like the way the Stargate does carry stuff forward. Like, I get frustrated when it doesn't, but then when it does, I get very happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
so guys,
Naquita generator is so important.
It does.
This is the first of 3 episodes this season, and I think she also did 10 as a story editor for this season for Heather E. Ash.
Yes.
So
wow,
she has a pretty big impact on the series.
I'd love to get her on.
That would be cool. That would be very cool. And I didn't realize that Andrew Airlie, who plays Kalen, he also returns as Dr. Ian Carmichael in season 8
Avatar. Yeah, I remember seeing it being like
until I looked into it.
I know that guy. Exactly.
And
he's the one who puts the needle in the heart.
Yes. He is also he also plays Christian Grey's father in all 3 50 Shades movies.
I did realize that as well. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yes.
Yeah. Leoben from Battlestar, I think, was also the dad in 50 Shades as well for the woman. So there you go. More you know, Canada.
Oh, okay. That's actually kind of cool.
Wow.
Britt Irvin, who plays Marin, she's also known for her role in Chesapeake Shores. She's been in 22 episodes. Chesapeake Shores actually unfortunately made the headlines this week. I don't know if you guys saw, but one of the co-stars, Treat Williams, died. She was hit by a car. Just awful.
Yeah, it's just awful. Couldn't believe it.
Poor guy.
And the little boy that plays Tommen, Lachlan Murdoch, he plays like a lead role in Murdoch Mysteries. He plays Constable Henry Higgins. He's been in like 198 episodes.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow,
have you watched that, Nicole?
I know it because like most people around here know what that is. So it's like, all right,
okay.
Wow. I've not seen it because murder shows are not my jam, but
okay, they're big in my family. The way that he slid that stone across the mural was very bad.
Yeah, like
he was trying not to damage archaeological evidence. He did a very bad job.
It's been under there for thousands of years. Who cares?
I do want to say, in terms of murder mysteries, the reason I don't vibe with it is simply that I find it very dark and very miserable to see murders constantly happening. I don't want to be reminded of that every time I watch TV. So.
I get into a dark place if I watch too many of them back to back.
Right? Yeah, no.
But I do enjoy them.
Yeah, they can be fun.
I actually
Isn't that
love the
also the name
bond
of our
that Teal'c builds with this boy here. It's very cute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Finally, a child who's not afraid of him at all. Just intrigued.
Yeah. He gave Cassandra that smile.
Gave him the once
she wasn't
over
having
as well.
Much of it. So.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally recording everything that they see and hear. He at least admits he's afraid.
Brutal. God, see, if I had that, I'd pass out. Like, I nearly do every time I get it. They have to put me upside down to get the head blood back to my
I've had so many needles.
I guess I'm kind of jealous of you and that you're used to it. So
it was a hard road though.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't think I'm gonna get that.
Like her presence is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like she has such like a commanding presence.
I love the way she doesn't know these like simple things.
They learn completely differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not no, but oh no.
I love the way she just came from like that.
Exactly.
Didn't realize like how like oof that was.
Just got brain shamed by like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, no. But you know what? The Asgard thing, I'm pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm Thor's #1 guy.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, she doesn't know what fun is. Oh, she doesn't know what fun is. So cute though. I can't wait for her to learn. Yeah. The ending of this episode is not very positive. It's positive in a negative positive way. It's weird.
It recovers.
Yeah. It's optimistic, I think is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, because now they know. Well, we'll get there.
Better.
We'll get there, yeah, in like another 35 minutes or so.
This is really nice.
It's just the nicest little scenes, you know.
It's the way he's just sitting in quite a relaxed way, like touching knees with the kid, like having this nice, like, you know, safe closeness where he's like, oh, I'm opening up and I'm comfortable and I'm happy. And this kid's like not scared of him and he's comfortable sitting with him.
The body language is a tiny bit defensive, but that would be, I'm sure, just an accident.
Yeah.
It's the slower scenes that are just sometimes just great, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just the character building, not just the world building.
Correct.
I don't hate that CGI either, I will say.
It's okay. It's not the best.
Great.
But it's really
it's passable.
Cool, yeah.
There's a lot of details for something
Look,
that's
it's
like,
better
you know,
than like
that.
Crystal Skull. because that episode has the worst CGI that I've ever seen, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So Daniel just said something bad. So he says that I'll try and pronounce this, Teotihuacan.
Yeah.
Teotihuacan.
Daniel said it's in South America, but it's in North America.
Oh my god.
Oh
god, I can't believe I didn't even notice.
Is that why I always get it wrong when Jeff and I get it during Trivial Pursuit?
Yes, but you know now.
I know now.
So it's north, not south.
So the Goa'uld came back around the same time that they took the medieval Christians.
Yeah.
Because of the tone of this episode and the way the dark music keeps coming in, I kept expecting like a Goa'uld to show up and ruin the day. And I'm really glad they didn't. I'm glad that it was like the talking about the menacing presence of the Goa'uld, that the Goa'uld ever showing up.
Yep.
You know, I like when the show does that.
She doesn't know how to impart knowledge. All she has is a technical manual in her head.
Yep.
She doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, she's just reciting.
Yeah.
Just
she can't like go back into other different points. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That's the issue with the Urbanians. They don't know how to, pardon the pun, think outside of the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had outside of the Naquita casing.
Yeah, I have a bit of like I can follow instructions, but I also have a bit of a scatter kind of mindset sometimes. And when I was being trained once on something, the person who was training me really struggled being able to jump back and forth where my mind was jumping back and forth, because I'd have a follow-up question to something else, but they kept trying to follow the process like mariners.
Right.
And I was like, I need you to jump back to this, and they couldn't kind of get used
like
to
they're
the
thinking
idea
in a straight line and you're just like going everywhere all at once.
Yeah, it's because I have so many other questions about things, and when they bring up one thing, I think of another thing. So yeah.
Silicon, trinium, and a foreign element.
I really like the way that Jack's kind of hovering around, like, like, I don't know, he's got a really nice, like, caring figure this episode. He's just kind of there.
It's because it involves a kid.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It is nice. Well, it's nice, but for sad reasons.
Yes.
Eek.
That's a bit gross.
It's overrun.
Yeah.
And at this point, we're not supposed to know that it was her own, people that did that on purpose. So.
Well, she sets them straight.
Yeah.
They think the Goa'uld did it.
Yeah, that's usually the thing.
Well, they have good reason to, because the exact same thing happened to Jack.
Correct.
In Nicole's favorite episode.
I was going, there are a couple similarities from like comparisons to this one to the other one. Like, again, the Goa'uld threat kind of hovering over, but it never comes, so yeah.
Yep. She has to do some verbal gymnastics in this episode.
I was going to say,
like, yeah, she really does.
I'd trip over my tongue a gazillion times during that.
Didn't she say, I think in your interview, David, that she recalled like receiving the scripts before the audition by a fax machine, and she was like surprised by the number of pages and the scientific jargon?
I think that's what it was.
For someone her age.
Yeah.
And very cool that her family friend is Gary Chalk.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really cool. What a coincidence.
Dan Benj said, was Stargate and Smallville in competition with each other back in the day for longest running series and stuff? I think, well, actually, no, Anthony's followed up with the longest running thing. Yeah, I don't think they were in competition. I think they were both just pleasantly getting along. But Stargate ended like quite a few years before, like 4 years before.
Yeah.
And then Smallville took longest running show by
Correct.
like a handful of episodes.
Right. Well, there's another
Supernatural
connection
took
to Smallville because Michael Shanks and Britt were
Yep.
actually in an episode together, or several
Yeah.
episodes together.
Yeah, they were.
Which is very
And Erica
cool.
Durance, who was had a moment with Teal'c in season 8,
Sure
is
thing.
Lois.
Oh yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. There is an episode in Smallville where Lois has a Gould hand device, basically, and he's in that episode.
Oh,
And I always
wow.
the recap
wow.
for it because he was doing an archaeological dig, and I was like, this is,
This is too familiar.
Yeah,
That's funny. There's a kind of a bit of a goof coming up when Sam draws the stick figure. It kind of all of a sudden has hair between the time she draws it and like when she shows
frustrating.
Mary.
That's a judgment
Everyone
call,
draws,
Sam.
Yeah,
Not everyone draws well.
Yeah.
she doesn't. And by she, I mean Sam. Let's go for the iconic stick figure.
Yeah.
Okay, is it going to have hair all of a sudden?
I actually love how this carries through to the end of the episode.
I know, so
Yeah.
do I. Oh, there is hair all of a sudden.
Had hair.
Yep.
Look at her face.
To be fair, right? That's how we draw things
Yeah.
sometimes. And it's like,
Yes.
to be fair, I'd be confused if I had no idea about drawing.
And then at the end of the episode, Sam's like, "Isn't that?" And Andrew Early's like,
And he's like,
"That's
it's me.
me."
Yes.
Gosh, imagine if Sam had shown her how to play Hangman. Marin would be very, very confused as to like,
That
you
might
know,
be a bit disturbing
what's
for
going on.
her.
Yeah. But when we're kids, we're like, oh, you'll play Hangman, no problem. Just, you draw that easy. It's such a messed up game now I think about it. Why do we teach people these things?
To explore human anatomy and
Human anatomy.
one leg here, one arm there. Oh,
I always found Daniel's part in this episode to feel a bit weird and almost tacked on. Does that make sense?
Oh, so this is Stephanie Shea.
correct. This is Dan's daughter.
Stan Shea's daughter.
I can
You
see
can
it.
see it. Yeah.
You can a little bit, yeah. And she's
the
actually gone
jaw.
on to do a tiny bit of stunt work with her dad, but like uncredited. I think she did some stunt work in season 10, and she was also
Wow.
on Psych.
Oh,
Wow.
I love that. Not anymore.
Show me him now.
He has been flushed down the toilet, folks.
Yeah, I feel like Tilk's got a really prominent role in that he's got the relationship with Toman, and then Sam and Jack have the whole Naquita reactor Merrin situation. Daniel's just kind of there, just being like, "Hey, here's a bit of background on the planet," and then he's there to just kind of be there for Tilk's moments about Toman. So it's like, I wish that Daniel had a bit more to do, but I'll take it.
So this is a goof. So Merrin said 15 sheets of paper, at least 48 centimeters by 23 centimeters. She inverts the numbers in a few minutes' time.
Oh, you're kidding.
She says 43 by 28 instead of 48 by 23.
Can I just say, my shipper heart is absolutely soaring right now because like these two are looking after a kid together, basically, and it's like massively cute. So you know,
She's got cross sections. Look at that.
That's
that is
incredibly
beautiful.
detailed.
Yeah. That was big brain of her.
Very big brain of her.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not surprised? Now I am jealous.
Love that.
Sam. Oh, Sam.
Carter, you sleep. Oh, look at that.
Aw.
Yeah. That's okay though.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a little nub.
I can't believe she was writing with that. Jacob said, for all the emotional weight Merrin stuff brings to the episode, I actually preferred Toman's little arc much more. I like Toman's one because it bums me out less.
It was very short but impactful.
Yeah, I think it's very shocking, and it's like and very eerie in a way, the way that it kind of unravels.
He just looks like a different kid.
Yeah.
There's also his headdress is gone. So
he's down to like basically like baby level, right? Because all his synaptic pathways are like empty.
Yeah. At least he has like motor function.
Yeah, thank God.
I'm sure it was a beautiful ceremony.
Yeah.
But his brain has been sucked out.
Yeah. There are a lot of issues with this episode in terms of like, you know, what we deem as okay and like what's abuse, you know. What they do is incredibly messed up. And is it ever clarified in the end that they stop doing it to kids, or do they just carry on and they teach the kids?
Right.
No, I think they carry. I think you kind of get the impression that they still carry on, but they still teach their children even after.
It's just such a shame because they waste like over a decade of their life, like doing that, losing everything that they are, and then they have to learn, you know, at an already advanced age, they have to learn everything again, and then try and function as normal member of society. Yeah. It's incredibly awful.
My issue with this is go ahead.
No, you go.
My issue with this is 49 years is not long enough time for them to forget how to educate the old-fashioned way, or however they did it before. You know,
I feel like maybe the opinions and the way that the like you know, when everyone gets the Avarium stuff and like the people get the nanites, I feel like they've kind of just forgotten to care. Because it's happened so much, it's just become so normal. And it's like, you know, maybe they get some of the personality and attitudes kind of adopted with that just a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, if you had the choice, would you prefer to study a subject or acquire the knowledge by nanite?
Nanite. I hate studying. It's boring.
See, I would actually rather study, because like I like to make things difficult for myself. And I rarely take the easy road, I guess often to my own detriment. For example, I was determined to teach myself how to make macarons, which is like a really delicate French cookie. And instead of taking the easy road and buying them, I literally spent years teaching myself how to make them from scratch.
Well, I got them perfect first time and can't do them ever again.
You get like such a it's just this sense of satisfaction and this like rush of adrenaline that you don't get.
That's what Carter has been talks about with Merrin.
Exactly, she does. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm bad.
You're not bad.
No, it's bad. It's just different.
David, you haven't said nanite or education.
So if you take the nanite, you
I want to ignore the abuse of a child.
You're imprisoned to the perspective that nanite gives. Whereas if I educate myself, I may get the same knowledge, but from a different perspective, which may open up other options later on down the road.
For me, it's simply like just a degree, just a basic degree of something that maybe doesn't need that stuff. Because my problem with school was I couldn't do it because I struggled because I got like, they were like, in 15 years, this is going to matter. And I struggled because it wasn't instant gratification. So it just wasn't
the struggle
for me.
itself is so much of what's important.
Well, that's the problem is I struggled, and as a result, I failed and I dropped out of school because it wasn't for me. So, Avarium, please.
On the light side, Lockwatcher just asked, did Yvie use nanites to win the trivia contest?
She must have downloaded nanites.
That's
There's no
funny.
other way.
Yeah, I got some of Nicole's nanites.
Yeah. Brilliant.
O'Neill's kidnap of Merrin comes up later on in the season. Like he was definitely, a file was like placed in his record.
Is that in Shades of Grey that it comes up?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Kidnapping an alien child. Need I go on? The proverbial straw,
Yeah.
sir. You got it.
Yeah,
It's not great.
Proverbial straw, yeah. So we're gonna have a very impassioned speech by Kaylin shortly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is like the peak of the dramatic tension, I think, in this episode, and kind of summarizes the overall message of the episode.
It's a good thing the Urbanians are peaceful. Otherwise, if we saw their military on this end, it would get gnarly real quick.
I'd say
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Oh, they don't know about the iris yet.
Mm-mm. They will now.
He makes a great point
He
there.
does.
You know, I feel like they've been brainwashed into having this perspective, and like all the nanites downloading, like you know, obviously what you said, David, about all the opinions and stuff that kind of comes with the different views of stuff. I feel like they've all got the same view as a result of the nanites.
They're locked into a collective.
Yeah. See, 10 years she's been studying that Nakwita technology, so she would have been one.
So she's 10 years behind on actual education that she's going to need.
Kind of, yeah.
Jed Ted says, "I learned better with audio, but I'm not sure if I'd take the nanites. I'm an oral learner myself. If I hear audio again and again, I've got it. So.
Yep, I'm the same. That's actually how I used to study in
tape
high
recorder?
school. Yep, tape recorder.
Me too.
I used to tape myself saying things and then play it back to myself while I was sleeping.
Exactly.
For me, none of that worked. It had to be fun and engaging. So I only passed like maths, English, and religion / philosophy because they were mentally stimulating for me. I struggled with everything else.
I used to do a lot of explosion charts, an explosion.
They've never worked for me. Oh my God, I hated them.
That was how I studied history. I mean, I didn't do great at history, but I enjoyed it. And that's how I let some of the knowledge sink in, to the point where my school teacher at the time, he actually took my notes and used them as like slides in his classes moving forward.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I had a similar thing. For me, had a algebraic thing that we were given. It was a huge equation, and I did it, but I did it in like a huge amount of math all over my page, and I did it. To him, he was like, "Okay, you've done it. You've got the answer, but I have no idea how you got there." So he put it up on the thing for other students in other classes, being like, "Can someone figure out what Nicole did to get the right answer?"
We're blown by a lot of great stuff here, guys. I mean, she's telling her about all the experiences that helped form her when she was a young person.
Yes.
And Marin has no idea.
No, she hasn't.
No, obviously. I love the fact that the Nakwita reactor is like a really large kind of clunky version of what they're going to get eventually. Like you can see the origins of it. The two circular bits, Are
those alternators on either end? I think those are alternators.
So.
I love that Sam's like, okay, I need you to stop so I can have the fun of figuring it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love games and puzzles. Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to have that hit of adrenaline and oxytocin to make you want to do it again.
And this is why I'm a crazy person during trivia, because I want everyone to learn and find the answers.
Oh boy, here we go. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Yep.
That's not happening.
You've got two parents there with very different perspectives.
Yeah, that's right. Jack used to be a dad. It's very important to remember that perspective.
Yeah. It really is. And
it always makes me
he
sad
would have
when
lost Charlie.
Episodes.
Yeah, Charlie would have been about the same age as Marin.
Oh, you really went down to the bad stuff there. Vegetable.
And he just puts his foot down and says, I'm not gonna try and learn. Wow. This is a great episode. I love this episode.
I really love this episode. It's a great episode. I always worry about episodes with kids because it's like, oh, maybe it's not going to be great. But the kids episodes in Stargate tend to be really decent. Like,
yeah,
that's surprising.
yeah, it's way more impactful having children involved. If the same scenario was just a planet full of adults, it wouldn't be the same.
No.
And I'm just going to slip out the side door here. He wouldn't have been able to get through
you can trust me.
Through security at the surface when he was driving out. I just don't believe he would have made it.
No.
I like to think he zatted them. But I feel like his seniority would like kind of like do it though. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
How did he smuggle her out in the car though?
That's the thing. You know, he has to go to his car and then go through just security at the mouth of the mountain. So
yeah, hide under a blanket or something. So there's a little bit coming up in a second that is often regarded as a goof, but it's not. So Hammond uses the red phone to speak to Carter about the energy discharge. So although the phone is reserved obviously for communication with the president, it can also be used as a regular phone. It's just got like an encryption key for secure phone calls and data transmissions.
He's letting her have it.
I love that. Yeah, Lockwater just said, please warn us anytime you use something called a reactor. Like, yeah. She should really be warning people.
Yeah, I mean, it could have exploded for all you know.
She does this a few times.
Yeah.
With the when she's trying to go, is it the out of phase thing? She's supposed to leave the sign outside.
Yes.
She has a shield on when during the road not taken. That's the episode in season 10, I believe.
Yes, I remember that now.
And she's like doing dangerous experiments, doing things, and no one ever like gets warnings, and she's always forgetting. It's great.
Exactly. So this is the Inman Elementary School in Burnaby.
Ah.
It's still in operation today.
Oh, really? Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
This is play where kids go out and get exercise and have fun.
Pizzeria.
I love how they know him there because I think Cassandra went to the school.
Exactly. So she probably had like a...
Which is awesome.
Like a adult day or like a... Bring your
like a parent teacher day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He would have went.
This is what makes me sad about Stargate is that we don't get to see enough of like the outside of work interactions because they're always focusing on the drama of each episode. It's an episode week to week episodic show, you know. I wish that we got to spend more time with these things, but I'm glad that they've kind of highlighted that in this.
Yeah, they've impacted people. You know,
guys, maybe Cassandra had like a bring a parent figure to work day, and they talk about what they do for a living. Jack. And maybe Jack went in and talked about working in the Air Force.
Maybe she brought Jack and Sam together and everyone thought they were a couple. And that is my new headcanon.
Yes. Yeah, I will live in that.
Yeah, good. We can live there together.
Yeah. My area code is changing to that.
That's funny.
We're just sitting here laughing at the students. So stupid. I can always rely on you to join me in the shipping.
Oh, I'm gonna go mad in the next episode. I'll try and rate it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she didn't resist when leaving for off. Aw, Jack.
I'm so cute.
That's pretty good.
Great. That's a great painting.
Leaving for the surface. You know, she trusts him. That's pretty detailed.
It is very detailed.
For such a big brush, I don't believe that.
Draws, the initial flowers that she draws with the equipment that she has is pretty detailed too.
Yeah.
That's what I was always big sus of that. I was like, no way in hell with those paints and those brushes did you get to that.
Well, she's obviously got an artistic brain somewhere in there.
Yeah. I wish I was more artistic. I'm terrible. Oh, this warms my heart, guys. Like, I'm gonna get emotional in a minute. See, like, look at that. That is such bull. I don't believe she did that.
It is pretty good.
Big sus.
think outside the box. Think outside the
I'm starting to really
casing.
agree with this girl. I really struggle. Like I can't think outside of the box very well. I'm very much a like straightforward kind of person. This is why I need the nanites. I'm very much a team Merrin for this. I'm not very creative. I rely on all the people around me like to be creative and me to be like, hey, like I love it. Like good job, you.
Are there any child labor laws in Colorado Springs? Paint me the garden.
I do think it's unfair that these kids get like the big painting easels while all the other kids have to go on their desk. Like peasants.
They probably got it. Like
maybe they take turns. Yeah,
look at that.
It's like back in the day when you had like one computer in the whole classroom to learn, so you had to take turns. That's a really good, like honestly. I wish that Jack had kept that and like framed it and put it in his house and we could see it. Oh,
if we saw it later
that would have been like cool
in like an office or something or his house, that would have been really cool.
And it's Sam, look, he's smiling.
Yeah, it's a representation of Major Carter.
It would be amazing for him to keep that. Sam in a garden in his house would have been massively cute, and I would cry. So,
can you imagine the APB that is on every police squad's desk at this moment? Looking for these two.
Oh, exactly.
He'd never be allowed back to that school again.
Yeah. How coincidental, David, was it when you were interviewing Britt and that Amber Alert came through on Britt's phone?
Wasn't that bizarre?
That was really weird.
Now Jack has to understand.
I'm so busy focusing on this episode. I'm not looking at the chat enough. Let's see what's going on in here. Lewis Cox says, Learning Curve is an interesting, sad, and yet heartwarming episode. Yes, it is.
Yes, well summarized.
You will find more Matt and Aquita. Much more.
So much. And some Noquadria as well. Some horrible variant.
A season ahead.
I'm jumping 2 seasons ahead.
Ah, crayons. Crayola crayons. My favorite.
It is quite funny that like these guys end up going and like just destroying the stick figures for like eternity because no one ever showed them how to like paint properly. So, oh God. I hope that one of the kids at the Avarium eventually like grows up to be a beautiful artist who like, manages to paint these great things and then teach everyone else by hand.
Maybe they maybe Earth sent some like teachers or something to their planet to teach them how to teach the kids.
They should take some art teachers over there to teach some art classes and stuff. Oh my God, some workshops. That'd be so cute.
Well, these guys are one of our stronger allies. I'm pretty sure we continue to work with them. So
it's a shame we don't see much more.
This is a great line.
This is great. I won't cry.
Way he delivers that line as well.
Honestly, it's hitting me in all the feels. I don't like it.
You almost caused an interplanetary incident with people that we probably don't want to
I think it's I think he's lucky that he's able to be let off world, back to this planet after what he's done. But yeah, he really demonstrates his compassion for children in this episode, especially those that he sort of considers have been deprived of a proper childhood, like Cassandra, Ritu, Charlie. Yep. Yeah, it's endearing and heartbreaking because it's rooted in the death of his son.
I used to not really have much like empathy towards television, as in like I would never really got like sad or upset. Like I felt it inside, but I never really like was very expressive about it. I would just kind of be like, oh, that was sad, and then that's it. I actually just started crying, so I'm trying to wipe it away from it back on camera. It's not over yet. Yeah, honestly, sometimes a show just hits my heartstrings in a way that I can't like control. And I don't really know why, but this one really hits me. And I think maybe it's because I've got like a real messed up childhood. So it's like, it's so beautiful that Jack's like
you feel like you had a deprived childhood too.
Yeah, in my own ways, Sorry, Mum and Dad, if you're watching. You did the best you could sometimes.
Oh, jeez. Saddle up. Let's see what's happened here.
Look how excited Kaylin is.
This is really sweet and wonderful.
It is.
All because Jack
Pico
disobeyed
Gecko
orders.
Fett says that line hits me like a brick in my stomach. Yeah, it hurts. Oh, so beautiful.
I know.
Where are the tissues?
Oh, there's Tommen back there. He's playing jump rope. I never noticed that before.
This one is so good.
I hate the sound bite of the child laughing.
Oh, it's
like
stock.
you hear it in
It's
quite
so
a few
canned,
things.
yeah.
It's bad. That laugh there, it's awful.
Yeah. It sounds like something I'd hear in like a horror.
Yeah.
A horror game. Beautiful.
Oh.
What's sad is Jack's like now realizing they learned all these things because that day on the playground and in the claclassroom, it's all
Because he
from
gets
Marin.
it. This is what she learned.
It's changed that simple day has changed a whole civilization.
Yeah. That simple day is like
I
a
love
really
this so
dark
much.
day, but a great day as
Isn't
well.
that
It's hilarious.
It's me. Well, it kind of
I thought that was Sam.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a good thing he didn't take her like to someplace dark. Can you imagine what pain it would have inflicted on this society?
Yeah.
She's gonna break every time I watch this. She's gonna break those crayons on that rock.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But I bet they can probably
She
make
needs some
more
new crayons. Yeah.
I would have loved
Yeah,
to have
haven't
seen like
worked on-
boxes everywhere. Like they'd managed to
would have been
replicate
cool.
them.
I'm sure Earth will send them a whole heap of crayons.
This hurts me.
Yeah, they would have sent them boxes of crayons if they couldn't make them themselves.
I think they would have. And Britt said that RDA tried to make her laugh a lot in this particular scene. Something about drawing dog poop with corn in it.
I'm glad he's seeing the bright side of the horrible situation.
Yeah. Keep in mind, he has a 1-year-old at this point, so.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And a girl, right? So it's like, phew.
Yes, exactly.
I love that he draws this and she just goes, no.
Aw. She understood him. She smiled.
Yeah. So, there was a review on Gate World about this episode that said that the ending is a little bit too like Disney-esque.
It's very
but the
fairy tale.
the episode kind of as a whole presents some solid ideas. Mainly that advanced technology comes at a price.
Yep.
Yeah.
And somebody also said as well online that this example is this episode is a prime example of why the prime directive in Star Trek is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because,
don't they always break the prime directive though?
I'm sure they do.
Often, but
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I guess you could think of it like, on the other hand, there's something like the prime directive, but what about our duty to protect like basic human rights? Like, doesn't a child have the right to a childhood?
Yeah, but it's not our planet.
That's the thing. It's not.
Yeah.
So complex. What we deem as right, other societies on the world doesn't deem as right, and I'm sure vice versa. So that's the way of it.
Thanks for
that
joining
is
us.
good episode. Thank you, everyone. That's good time.
All right.
I did not expect. Usually, I actually break right at the end when Marin and Jack are drawing.
Yes, it is a very cute scene.
But I broke when they were like sitting down and talking, and then and then Jack spoke to Hammond saying all this. Sorry, I'm getting sad. I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. It's making me really sad. I don't know why. Like this. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. I'm crying on the internet. It's terrible. Okay, right. Why is this the episode that gets me? Okay, right. I'm fine. Let's move on. Away from me. Someone else talk, for the love of God, please.
Well, I'm sorry. It's just it's Yeah, I mean, I
emotion.
love this show. I think that it's, this show embodies why I think we need Stargate. It's because at the end of the day, we're going to be okay, and this episode exemplifies that, like there are reasons that we come together to enjoy this show, and this is one of them. So because it's chicken soup, at the end of the day, Stargate is hitting something that we all know deep in our bones, and I think is exemplified in the fifth race, is that we're better than a lot of the evil stuff that we see out there, and people can have a positive influence on one another, so like we do with the Urbanians.
Yeah,
Yvie, help me out here. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, you're making perfect sense. Yeah, I think it's a very heartwarming episode, considering the I guess the density of the actual concept of the episode. Is pretty dark, but it manages to make light of the darkness with that lovely little twist at the end. And I love that the stick figure that Sam drew is like carried right through. It's a very sweet episode.
Absolutely.
I guess we should rate it.
Yeah,
let us rate it, please. I am going to go with a 5 for this episode. The acting is superb. The nugget that is at the core of this episode really hits me hard, because we take care of our kids, we protect them, but yet we also have to respect our boundaries when it comes to negotiating with other societies, and we can't just go out there and tell them what they're doing wrong. It's more complicated than that, and so this is definitely a 5 for me. So almost want to give it a 6, but you know what? I'm going to give it a 6. I'm wrong.
Yes. I was also going to give it a 6. Yeah, I was also going to give it a 6.
Are you going to now?
Because yes, okay. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6. So I think it's cool to see the origins of the Naquita generator. I think the acting was great. I think the kids did such an amazing job. And I agree that it's a very heartfelt message that kind of stays with you.
Yeah.
So
Nicole?
A 6 from me.
Sorry. It's I think it's a 6 from me as well. I think also, like, it is Father's Day today. It's like, I think it's a very triggering day for me, and I think it's also a triggering not just triggering day, the triggering day in general for me, because of watching this episode, and it's like, and I relate to like some of the educational kind of conversation, the father-daughter stuff, and the stuff about like learning and stuff. It's just, I think it just hit me in a bad spot, guys. I'm so sorry.
Are you okay?
It's a beautiful episode, and I love how emotional it is. I love that it hits in a way that like not every episode hits. And I'm glad that it has some long-lasting impact in terms of Naquita, because those reactors carry on going through all the other
franchise,
shows. And it's phenomenal.
Got one
and
right
it makes
here.
Me,
So.
Exactly.
Yes.
Is it on for this episode?
I can turn it on.
You didn't turn it on for the episode, but let's turn it on now, just because principle.
Yes.
Hey, look at that. Beautiful. I'm gonna try and do this in as good form as I can. Okay, so we've got.
I believe in you.
Raj Luthra, my rating is 6 out of 7 chevrons. Learning curves, one of my favorite episodes because of how many things are happening in terms of science, engineering, and more. Yeah, this episode is full. I love it. I wish I had a follow-up episode to see how they are. I was close to giving it a 7, but I think a 6, just because there are others that just beat it, I think, for stuff. Anthony said it's a 5 from me, but only just. Lewis Cox says 6 out of 7. Jacob said, I've never liked this episode much, don't find it very interesting, almost boring, but it has a few very compelling moments and character interactions that earn it a generous 5 from me. And Jed Ted said, crying face with teal dad moment. And then we've got... Oh, everyone's like saying, oh, Nicole, yes, let's move on. Mac Merlin's conscience said before, What's an episode that I skip? Well, at least that's a 4 though. That's pretty good. Gecko Fett said 6 out of 7 because it hits me every time. Lewis Cox says this is one of the reasons why I love Stargate. He said 6 out of 7 chevrons. Lockwatcher said I would give this 6 out of 7. Marin's skills in a shift from robot to person was great, and Toman's shift was great as well. Many times you just do not find kid actors that can pull this off. Jed Ted said I give it a solid 5. And Dan Ben said 4 out of 7. So,
yeah, it's across the spectrum. There are people that it hits, and there are people that, you know, just like, oh, that was quaint, you know, it was adorable, and next, please, you know, I don't blame.
No one's given this less than a 4 this episode, and that's pretty good, you know.
That says a lot.
We're all kind of agreeing that it is a good emotional episode, and it hits like all the spots pretty decently, you know. As I said, there was like some moments lacking, but overall,
well, yeah, we usually, you know, go from 2 to 1 or 2 to all the way up to 6, you know, for a typical.
Rarely a 7. Rarely does somebody give 7.
Yeah, the fact that it's the floor is like at 4. That's interesting. So
I think it's a very well-rounded episode.
Yeah,
I thought it was well written, had a good message, kind of tied it up quite neatly in the end. It would have been cool to find out what happened with this world later on, like a little throwback later on would have been really cool. Like even if it was just a throwaway line.
I'm always sad that they don't follow up enough with these planets, but you know they don't have time.
There's so many of them.
There's so many. You know?
Yeah. But I mean, this one just makes it's such a massive impact on the rest of the series. It would have been cool to have a tie back to this episode.
I want to throw in something silly that my dad once said. This is tying into the whole emotional thing. My dad, when he first met Christopher Judge, he was hanging out with him at a convention, and my dad said to Christopher Judge, "Thanks for raising my daughter when I wasn't there." So,
how
did Chris respond?
He was like, well, he just called me. He was like, let me talk to her, and I was like, okay. So I got a FaceTime call from my bedroom in my pajamas, and there was a Star Wars poster behind me, and he's like, I was like, Stargate's my favorite thing in the world, and he's like, well, you got a Star Wars poster behind you, so I don't believe you. And I was like, no, I promise, you know. So, yeah, it was a nice moment, but also it's like it's very telling of just the dynamic and the fact that, you know, my family weren't around a lot. So yeah, it's cool. Anyway, all good. All good. Little spiel. I don't want to give too much away about my life and problems. We're here to have a good time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So we're going from a sensitive, sweet, emotional story to an action-packed emotional story. So
yes, kick-butting, butt kicking. My brain's not working because I've been crying, evidently.
All right. Let's hook up the early prototype ZPM and leap over to Point of View.
Very nice.
You guys ready for this one?
Very nice.
So
indeed.
excited.
I know, me too.
Could not be more excited.
The show is really getting into its meat and potatoes here, as far as I'm concerned. So.
Oh, it is. It is.
Come on. Just a second. Everything minimized for me, and it won't reopen. Okay.
That's absolutely fine.
Yep. All right, guys. You all set?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Point of View, folks. In 5, 4, 3. We're back with Wormhole X-Tremists. My name is David. I'm with Yvie.
Hello.
And Nicole.
Hello.
And Area 51.
We're about to see the chair, guys. About to see the chair from the Gamekeeper.
The Avatar and Gamekeeper chair.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that it's like, hey, this is where we're storing all our stuff. Let's remember all these little things.
We've
and
got
then
a communication
get to the mirror.
ball.
Can I just say, this is the most amazing intro for an episode, in my opinion, in terms of, like, you know, it's very mysterious. And you're like, whoa, we're back to this.
Yeah.
So.
Also, interesting to note that you can hear the sound transmitting through the mirror. You can't later on, but I'll bring it up again.
Oh, good point.
Oh, yeah.
Look at you. I suppose we're trying to hear what they're saying, so.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with that.
And, like, it's intelligent. Like, it knows that there's someone else coming, so it'll wait on transmitting the other person until they're both ready. I love how he drops the pin on this side after it's detonated on the other side.
I'm just so excited to see Jay Ackervone again.
Yeah.
Me too. I just want to say,
Yep.
Oh no, I'm very quickly, Yvie. Yvie and I have
I
only
was just
seen
going to say, I like to
a
call
couple
him
episodes together. So
my favorite minute major, because he's only really a major for a minute.
for a minute. No, you're right.
Yeah.
I think you and I have only seen Divide and Conquer and Mobius 1 and 2 together. We never watched any other episodes of Stargate before now, and they were like shipping episodes. So I'm glad we're sitting down to watch another shipping episode together.
Yes, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited.
I would have loved to have seen more episodes like this, but I get, they've done it, so they're moving along. So
yeah, such a good episode.
And they supposedly order the mirror destroyed.
I was going to say this is the last time that we see the quantum mirror.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yeah, because in Ripple Effect, Bill's like, "Oh, team don't have the mirror to send them all back," and it's like, good point.
It's also kind of fun to think that Daniel has helped save Earth twice with the quantum mirror. So,
yeah, because he is the best.
He saved our reality in There But For the Grace of God, and Dr. Carter's reality in this episode.
Yep.
And it's also fun to know that Amanda Tapping was nominated for a Leo Award for Best Performance in a Dramatic Series. So
for this episode,
I guess for this episode.
Wow.
But the question is, which one of her was nominated?
I was gonna say, yeah. See, she was working overtime.
That's funny.
I love when actors get to play more than like one role, play like other versions of themselves in TV. I think it's a really fun way to play. So good.
Yes.
So great. Whoa. What a great moment.
It's not what you think.
Yeah, he knows, darling. Oh.
And not necessarily in love with me yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always like,
thank you for saying yet.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Major Kowalski.
I think Evie and I are going to have a lot to say when this episode ends. So, Kowalski's one of my favorites. He's like one of the top 5 people I always want to see, and I'm always sad when he's not around. I'm so glad he comes back in Mobius. Nothing brings me more joy.
I know. I totally agree. I love seeing him too.
I'm sick and tired.
And it's amazing because he was only in the first episode for like the shortest amount of time, and he just made such a massive impact.
Yep.
I was thrilled.
He was just one of those guys we lost too soon.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely, and that's why they kept on bringing him back.
Yeah.
So I was curious as to the meaning of fussed that Jack said.
Yeah.
Fussed.
I use it a lot as a way to not say the other word.
So the official definition is to waste time idle or busy oneself aimlessly. So he's kind of trivializing Daniel's horrible experience in the alternate reality, which is very Jack-like. And this is Peter DeLuise who is interviewing Sam.
Yep.
Which is very cool.
I love the way that the continuum film kind of does this again with the yelling at the camera, being like, "I've done this before." It makes me really happy.
What do you guys think the A in SGA stands for? Do you think it's like association. Agency?
Association.
Oh,
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's association. Look at Sam's reaction. It's like, how am I supposed to take this?
It's horrible that, what was happening in There But For the Grace of God is back. And, it's happened to numerous realities we just never got to see.
Yeah.
Messed up.
Yep.
There are many realities.
Alternate squared.
Yep.
He and Teal'c are the ones who have a problem wrapping their brains around which reality is real. And this is a conversation that I had with Rob Cooper. He's like, we didn't like to do this because it lessened the blow of the prominence of our reality. If Dr. Frasier dies in this one, and then a couple of years later we just bring another one through, it's okay. She exists in parallel realities, so her death wasn't as impactful.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's a tricky line to walk as a writer.
You just
the alternate reality thing is pretty can be pretty twisted in a way, because it's like we care so much about this one, but all the other ones that have died are basically the exact same thing as this one, just slightly different events. So their lives don't matter any less than these ones.
Mitchell echoes this line right here. Is it possible that there's a reality out there, such and such? And that I think in that case it was about Amy Vandenberg. So
yeah, I remember something along those lines.
Yeah.
I love the way he loses it when he sees Teal'c, because Teal'c's always the one leading the charge.
For obvious reason.
Yeah.
But it's the Teal'c that he knows, only without the flavor saver.
You're talking about the goatee?
Yes.
The little soul patch
flavor
thing?
saver. That's disgusting.
Yvie, that is horrible.
Gross.
And I love it. That is great. I can't wait to use that with other people.
Is that an Australian thing?
I think it is. I love it so much. Wow, I'm gonna tell Petra about that, and then he's gonna say it in your accent forever. So enjoy that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like as in picking it out of your goatee and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Air Force.
So,
Her hair
Hammond's
is not
about to-
it.
Hammond's about to misidentify the quantum mirror planet of origin.
Yeah?
He says P3X233 instead of PSR233.
Yeah.
PSR. Did you say PSR?
No, he says P3X.
Well, then
it
where's-
should be PSR233.
What's PSR 233?
That's the planet designation of where the quantum mirror was found. He misidentified it. According to Gate World.
Gate World? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
PSR? S is in Sam, R is in Robert?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it.
I don't know anything, so I'm nope.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
We'll have
happily
to talk
agree with
about
you
that
and move
later.
on.
All right, move
Yep.
on. Yeah.
Oh, what a good
Whoa.
Sam's just being logical. Sam, chill out.
No, you made a contribution.
She's sassing herself, though.
Sam's. We're all this reality.
It would have been amazing if Kowalski could have stayed. Oh, I would have loved it. It's not feasible, but it would have been so good.
Yeah,
they have a
I
whole
agree.
planet to fix.
Yeah. It's kind of messed up that they've both like run through the mirror and like left Earth completely, but as far as they're concerned, there's nothing they can do about saving Earth, so they've had to run. They probably don't feel good about themselves at all right now. Like it's a bad day to be them.
I love the look.
Guys, I just realized I made a mistake. It's P3R233.
I thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a 3. I thought you were right with the
I
R.
put an
Bad,
S in my
bad.
nose instead of a 3. So my mistake.
No, you're fine.
I didn't want to argue with either of you,
But
so I went.
Hammond still had it wrong.
You did indeed.
And you were right about that.
These shots are just a little too fuzzy for my taste.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah,
but
just a
you know what? It's
tiny bit.
not terrible
It's
though.
No, it's
possible.
not. Yeah.
It's not like Tin Man bad, where it was
Yeah.
like where the two Sams. Oh, it was terrible.
I think we just missed as well a little tiny bit of the Sam and Jack love theme.
Oh yeah, just a smidge.
Yeah, just a smidge.
But don't worry,
Is
it's
this
gonna
the
continue, of
first
course.
episode or the second episode that features it?
This is the first one that features it, I believe.
First one, okay.
Because I would have brought it up sooner if it came on sooner.
Yeah, it is a beautiful piece of music.
Yeah.
It's a great piece of music.
I actually
One of my favorites
found
from
our friend Brazat. He has a video on YouTube where he's transcribed the score. It's from like a couple of
Amazing.
years ago. It's really cool.
Transcribed it into notes?
Yeah.
Really?
I really want this
Yeah, because he's a
photo
musician. So.
blown up and put in a photo frame so I can put it up on my wall.
Really?
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, I tried to
Yep,
buy it off
agreed.
someone was selling them at a convention I was at, but they weren't selling them individually. They were like getting them signed by RDA first,
Oh,
and then coming
geez.
back and charging you way more for them. And I was like, that's
Wow.
No.
Yeah. I couldn't
I'm sure
buy
you
them on
can
their
get it
own.
somewhere. You can get like a postcard of it somewhere.
Yeah,
I
just
think
didn't know
the
where to find
quality of it
image
isn't great though.
HD.
I think I have seen them.
Well, they had
yeah.
really HD quality ones, which is why I asked if I could buy them. They said no, these are going to RDA, and I was like, ugh, frustrating.
Like, what if I don't want him to sign it?
Yeah. I already had a signature. I just wanted the picture. So
I know.
I got you a signature. It's okay. He knows you exist.
I know you told him about me, and then he put bless on the signature.
Bless.
Yeah.
Yeah, go tell him. And by tell him, I mean Sam. Nouns and ages in there, please. Just staring at the picture, crying. That's what I would do.
Yeah. It's the only thing she has.
And to be here with him, and it's not him.
It's such a bizarre, great idea. Yeah.
It would be heartbreaking.
This is the kind of love story that I love in my books and in my TV shows and movies. I love the crazy,
like a slow burn.
Yeah, but slow burns, but ones that have loads of wacky things thrown in that are like impossible in the real world, that make them this epic, wonderful adventure in sci-fi fantasy. You know, like this is what a twisted situation this is, and I love it. It's so fascinating.
It's true.
Like if this happens in a book I'm reading, I'm like, oh, it just got juicy. I'm like, can't put it down now. This blew my mind when I was a kid, just want to say.
Were you already a shipper at that point?
Oh yeah, I hadn't seen this season. I had no idea this had even happened. I didn't know I was missing a kiss. I'd seen season 8 by this point, so.
Yeah. God, I was a shipper right from the word go.
Oh, same.
The arm rest, like the arm wrestle comment.
One of my first episodes I ever saw was Entity, so I was hardcore shipper by this point.
Yeah.
He knows now. He's like, oh, I don't know how to deal with this.
Yeah, he's trying to like make sense of it all.
Can we just appreciate notice politics, the beginning of it, when Daniel says they were married and he's like, excuse me? It's like, it's happened.
It was just
twice
like
now.
He makes it such a passing comment, but like it has so much weight to it.
His eyes were like, oh my God. I love that consistently in like so many realities, majority of the time these two are together. So it's like soulmate level energy. I want to cry. I'm so happy. This is great. I'm having a great time, guys.
Sorry,
I'm like
if
blushing.
I'm silent, it's because I'm like letting this just wash over me.
Yeah, I'm trying to fill something with something, but I just want to watch. So good.
They've been married for a year.
First married anniversary. How long were they together? Oh, my heart.
Interesting necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack's comment here is great. This is something that I would say. Yeah, probably.
He tries to
probably
make
a
light
bit
of it with a joke.
Yeah.
Cold
so
by
good.
now.
It's so good. I can quite like most of this episode, and it's actually disturbing.
Why?
It's just I've seen it so many times.
Oh, well, but good story.
Yeah. They've managed to do the romance of these two friends and colleagues who there's a bit more, and they've managed to like do it in a way that makes it really believable without ruining the core team dynamic in any way. You know, they've done a great job.
And the Air Force was watching
the Air
them
Force
like
either.
a hawk over this too,
without
because they're
upsetting
like,
the
you
Air Force.
can't, you know. But there's what if it's a civilian Sam? They're like, yeah, okay, we have no problem with that.
Yeah, brilliant workaround. What a fantastic workaround.
Yeah.
They just gonna say come in.
And it's his first come here.
We both knew it was the first come in.
Well,
I love when he says
simple
come
statement, but like
he always does it.
Is like a cornerstone of their complicated relationship.
Look at that ring. That's
like,
a pretty nice ring as well. Like look at you, Jack. You spoiling her.
And I think Nicole would agree with me here. Like, I love to compare this hug to the one from Heroes.
That's exactly.
Because he looks kind of awkward and confused here, but he like completely melts into the hug in Heroes. Because he like drops his head to her shoulder.
This conversation is so good.
I know. It's
It's like, what do I
So
do?
like, it's so important.
Literally.
I think
it's like he's suddenly seeing her
Jack's really
differently.
beginning to see her in a different light now.
Yeah, like he already had like a vibe and like a mini crush. He's just trying to kind of stamp down.
Well, he's
but
learning
now it's
what
like
an
it's out.
alternate version of her might feel. So he's like, well,
Yeah.
all kinds of things are running through his head at this point.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
So, and to be frank, Rick did not like these kinds of episodes.
No, I know. I heard about that, but that's not, because he didn't like the romance or relationship.
No, but it was like he didn't like time travel. He didn't like alternate reality stuff, and he was just not crazy about it because it like hurt his brain. So he didn't appreciate. Rick is not a sci-fi fan.
No,
he's an Indiana Jones fan.
I just want to appreciate that moment as well
buddy.
for a second, which is the fact that he was like, what do you think of this? She goes, do you have a couple hours? He goes, sure, yeah. Like he's actually
exactly. He was
asking for more.
voluntarily agreeing to like a 2+ hour conversation about feelings.
And then she's like, that was the answer. I'm kidding. I'm doing the thing that we usually do. And he's like, oh yeah. Entropic cascade failure.
What a cool effect.
It is cool.
Cool
it doesn't
effect.
even look like it doesn't look massively dog poo like all the other episodes. When I say dog, it means dog poo, but I say dog.
Oh, okay. So we only really see the devastating effects of entropic cascade failure in this episode, even though we experienced reality jumping in other episodes.
Yeah.
Like in 1969, for example, because technically all 4 members of SG-1 would have been present at that time, but they didn't experience any ill effects. And of course, also there's ripple effect in season 9.
This is a good shot. Sorry, I got to say that.
Dr. Lee did theorize, I think, that
they're
in
close enough
ripple
to
effect, they were closer together. So Dr. Carter says this reality was one of only a handful not overrun by the Gore Wolves. So perhaps that kind of indicates how far apart these realities were in this episode.
I just like the fact that in that shot they had them hold hands, which is such a hard thing, I imagine, to like shoot because you've got to get everything to line up and have the actor standing
there on the off screen. This is
like
one of the few times we see Janet in Scrubs too.
Yeah, we don't see her often, do we? Oh, like he's sitting there just drawing his little doodle, being like, "I'm so stressed." It's great.
The grand scheme of things, Catherine.
Yeah. Your comment, by the way, on Rick being more of an Indiana Jones type, I think that kind of balances out SG-1 to make it more like, friendly to new audiences who aren't huge on science fiction.
Yep.
I think by having that balance was like genius and really worked. So picking Rick having Rick come in and do it was amazing.
He wanted the show to be more accessible.
And he crushed it. This is why I struggle with Star Trek, because I like sci-fi. I'm not like that. I'm more like this,
You like your
grounded in
sci-fi with
reality.
like, yeah.
Let's just hope that all their connector pins in their computers in that reality are similar enough to ours.
Yes.
Not to mention the language,
making
the
a lot of
language.
Assumptions.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is if it's a goof as such, but in a minute or so, when the Carters are repairing Jack's like power source from the 5th race, they say that it was designed by the Asgard, but it wasn't. It was designed using the Ancients' knowledge. So I'm not sure if I'm missing something or if it's just a goof.
It's a goof.
I was gonna say. Oh,
He like winced at that.
Yeah.
Like hit him right in the feels.
It's kind of cringy the way that he kind of says it, because it felt kind of forced in to kind of create this reaction in the script. But I'm so glad he said it, because both their reactions to each other in that moment is iconic. I think about it all the time.
Well, I mean, it also hit Jack in like more than one way, because he's also lost Kowalski. And yeah.
Man's watching out for his wife still. It's beautiful.
Yeah, fiercely protective, as you would be.
I just love it. This is the second time they're married in another reality. Like they've had contact with 2 realities.
In the other one.
And but they're in like they've got marital statuses connected in both realities that they've had connection to. Like, that's hilarious to me.
They would have got
Just
together if the two Stargate programs, like the one in, like quote unquote our world and the alternate reality, had been running for the same length of time, they got engaged quickly.
They did. They fell in love super fast. It was definitely that, like, I'm sure they had some sort of similar argument as the, like, oh, where's he transferring from? She is transferring from the Pentagon.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
They had a similar one with a similar, like, eye sexual tension with all that staring and glaring, yeah. Easy.
Liquid Naquita.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so the Asgard didn't design this, sweetie.
Nope.
So glad Jack's in this room right now.
Roswell Gray.
I love that he says that, because, like, the Roswell Greys, like, originated from the Asgard visiting us. So cool.
Exactly.
Yep. Catherine Powers was none too happy with that. That was not her idea, even though she wrote those episodes.
Really?
She claimed to have had an experience with little gray men, and they were very evil.
Oh.
And she's like, nah, this is, trust me, from my own personal experience, no. This is not the way to go. And she was overruled.
Well, I think it was a cool idea. And, make a positive out of a negative,
it's a cool
I guess,
tie-in.
is what I would try and do personally.
Cool effect.
I really don't like the controller. This really bothers me. Because it's like you might get one that's really close in, like, every single way, like the her being a captain in one of the realities.
Yeah, there's no precision to it.
Yeah, how do you know that you're being precise enough that you've gone to the right place? And also, there's like an infinite number.
Yeah, he tells him to, like, dial in smaller increments, but how could you even possibly do
on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's an infinite number of universes. What happens when you accidentally slam it to, like, 1 billion possibilities away? It's just I can't get my head around this device controlling that and working that way. I wish the bottom round bit that, like, you hold on to was actually a little dial that you could turn.
Well, I mean, how do we know that they even returned to the correct
There's
reality?
no way of knowing. There could have been millions of SGCs going on millions of these missions.
Yes.
Just because they went through in this reality doesn't mean that other Kowalskis and Carters didn't go through to do the exact same thing in other realities.
Yes.
So
imagine if the show did an insane thing where, like, they went back to the wrong reality for a while and no one figured it out for, like, an entire, like, half season of Stargate. And then when they figured it out, they had to, like, find a way to go back and then recap what happened in the other reality. That'd have been a crazy concept.
Sam is about to reference Learning Curve.
Mm-hmm. Techie stuff.
Yeah.
About our new generator.
Love it. Love this. I keep having them interact with each other. It's like, man.
Yep.
Struggle in the when they're actually putting it all together.
I love when they turn the quantum mirror off, and they turn it back on. They have to find it. Doesn't default to the same. It would give me a break. They have to find it again. How do you do that?
Yeah, yes. No, it always bothers me. Always bothers me. That's the only thing that bothers me.
Did they put, like, a long combination of numbers on that are visible on the other side so that they can match the numbers and go back?
See, that's perfect. That would be a perfect thing.
Or like a barcode or something.
Yeah, but then, like, how many other realities also made that same barcode?
That's
like,
the thing. You have no way of knowing.
Yeah,
unless they use some kind of quantum device that would definitively make their own combination that they could point to.
Yeah.
We're going way too geeky with this. All right.
That's a good time.
Yeah. The other thing that frustrates me is if Teal can survive over there for 48 hours, so can our Sam.
Exactly.
But it's probably a cost-cutting thing.
You can't hear the siren.
I feel like maybe at the beginning of the episode, the reason they had the sounds coming through was so that we could hear it.
Correct.
I feel like
it was just,
it was
just
a silly
to create
goof.
an atmosphere, but
but I wish they had some, like, what's the term I'm trying to find? I wish that they had the same thing throughout, where you couldn't hear it in one space but could hear it when you got there, kind of thing. I wish it was consistent. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh, I love when this guy pops back. He's like, what?
did I see something?
Scares me.
But he doesn't actually walk in to have a look.
Nope.
So it's like an NPC, like enemy in like a video game, just being like, "Oh, it must have been the wind."
No aggro.
Yeah.
No aggro.
Yes, exactly.
No
I'm
aggro on me.
seeing
No, not
something.
today.
They
got
do
something in my
such
eye.
a good job with redressing this set. Like the gate room
amazing
looks like
job.
the gate room from the feature film. It has the exact same light ambience. Like it looks like that we've stepped into the gate room from the feature.
So a moment to appreciate in advance Tilk and Apophis's facial hair.
Yes.
So I think I saw somewhere that the decision to have alternate reality Tilk and Apophis with goatees was a nod to the Star Trek episode Mirror Mirror, in which Spock's mirror universe counterpart had a goatee.
Yep.
That's quite funny.
Cool. I love seeing Major Davis with a goatee later on as well.
That's right.
No, actually, he has a mustache, doesn't he?
It's a
He has
mustache.
Yeah,
that was going to be one of my trivia questions if it came through.
It's in Mobius, isn't it? No.
Yeah, it is
Yes.
Mobius. That is the answer. Yeah.
And he's
Evie,
wearing.
you got it. You want trivia?
Apophis is wearing Skara's like sash or whatever it was.
Oh
yeah.
Yes, you're totally right.
Never noticed that before.
gold.
Look at you. See, look at this, right? I've seen this episode 1,000 times. You just given me something new that I didn't know. Look at that. Jed Ted said you need a stylus to use the mirror remote. Yeah, you need something really precise because your finger's not doing that.
Nope. I love the lighting in this episode. I always have.
Yeah, I love the way they made it all look like, messed up without really damaging the set or anything.
Yep.
So Tilk baiting himself. I like to call this the old pin down the twin technique.
Pin down the twin. Tilk never really wears this outfit like ever. This is like the one. This is a very different one for him. Hello.
It's kind of messed up. The only way to beat Entropic Cascade failure is to kill yourself.
But wasn't it they weren't going to kill him? They were just going to zat him, and Tilk's like,
they were just going to zat him, and he's just like, no,
worst.
I know me too much.
Yep, exactly. I am not going to let me live.
No. That's kind of brutal. He just killed himself, you know?
Nope.
I think it's in a way because Tilk doesn't fully understand the alternate reality thing still. See, look here.
Yeah.
Or he has his own.
This always bothered me. Ours is the only reality of consequence. I really hate that because it's not the only reality of consequence. There's an infinite
they all
amount.
have equal importance.
Well, it breaks the reason to have our show. You know?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. But sadly, they had other realities. So, they are all equally important. But obviously, our show's more because, we care about the ones we actually know.
Correct.
But I always find it funny the way that Jack and Daniel look at each other there because they're like, oh, dear.
Yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't have brought him with us.
Exactly.
Great.
Well, I love how they remembered to pack the flavor saver for Tilk, like to use in this alternate reality. It's great.
Yeah.
This is a great moment from the show. He finally asks, "What does Kree mean?"
Kree.
Finally, the definition of Kree.
Lockwatcher made what I'm assuming is a joke. It's right. It's so silly. Lockwatcher said they had to put a wig on the set to make it look like an alternate reality. This is, that's so bad. It's so good. Yeah, look, see all the corridors, all the damage. That is actually facial hair. That is the Stargate Command's facial hair drooping down through. This is an episode where everyone's got added hair and wigs in order to make it look
exactly.
different,
So I made that joke in the social media post.
You did.
Look at this handheld. That was so cool.
That was really cool. I really enjoyed that.
Plastic explosive. Fire in the hole.
Mac Boland's conscience said, I like Tilk's attitude. Either you're with us or you're against us. Yeah, man did not he was like, hey, look, yeah.
He's not
he was
splitting
like,
hairs.
Nah.
Yeah. So we're
about
to see the rod of anguish for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh
right here.
And this is also the third and final episode in which Don S. Davis and Peter Williams share a scene.
Wow. Oh.
That's right.
Telepophis or Killapophis?
Telepophis.
No, I know, I'm joking. I'm making a bad joke. Every time I hear it, I always think kill.
And I think we just missed something. I think my notes are out of order. When Daniel was dialing through the alternate realities before, wasn't he? We briefly saw the beach from Nem's planet.
Yes.
Yes, I did think that's what it was. Yeah.
Which we could have gone to if things got really bad and then just gone back home.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Just pray he doesn't take you.
Yeah.
And pray he doesn't take you down below into his watery lair and ask you what fate on Marocco.
Fate on Marocco.
And then we could do the whole fishmen debate again, guys.
Yes.
That's been a while.
Maybe he'll like bring them down to his lair and feed them almond rokers. And then they'll have a good laugh.
That mirror
I'd like
thing.
him to feed me almond rokers. Moving away from my fishmen thing. I just want to say I bumped into a girl at Waterstones yesterday, a bookstore in England, and she was like, I also like fishmen. And I was like, excellent. Don't ask me how it happened.
You can form a fishmen support group.
That was stock footage from There Before the Grace of God.
Yes.
And then you see the red light flashing, and then but you cut back to us, and there's no them, and there's no red light spinning. So.
I'm getting really excited because Kowalski is about to call out Jack for not just, dating Sam. So we're coming up to it, and I'm excited.
Yes.
Kowalski,
you don't really see.
They teach you silence.
I was going to say, you don't really see them being very sneaky. So it's really nice to see them being really sneaky. But then Kowalski blows it by talking too much. But I'm glad he talks. So. Thank God those helmets are really bad at seeing, because if those guys looked slightly to the left, they would have seen Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Is that who's that being captured and thrown down the corridor?
There's Nem's planet. Okay, I jumped ahead. Yeah.
This is going to take a while. This could take forever. What if you're going the wrong direction?
Oh, here we go, guys. I love that's his excuse. I think
just
Yvie
the
and I
rank.
talked about it
it's
before.
Just the rank. That's the only thing in their way.
Yeah, I think Yvie and I have had numerous conversations about the fact that the only reason that Jack and Sam aren't together or haven't pursued a relationship of any kind is because of the rank situation. So
yeah.
And that's brilliant.
So this proves that there are missions in other realities.
Yes, and there's also this is also a silly case of, the one time they have their rank properly plastered on their chest. Very convenient. Danny should have gone through, been like, hey guys, is this my reality? And then come back. Yep. That'd have been funny.
So when Sam dials the Asgard homeworld, the symbols are orientated differently than the address dialed in the fifth race.
Oh, absolutely. It's just stock footage. They didn't care. They didn't pay attention to a lot of those things. There we go.
This party started. I've got like There But For the Grace of God goosebumps seeing that.
Yeah. Stock footage of the gate room. Lighting is incorrect. I have a lot of little problems with this, but the episode itself is great.
That's what I mean, It's such a great throwback to There But For the Grace of God. It's got so many, and then like the Asgard, it's got all these cool elements, and alternate realities are just fun. But sadly with this, it's like my gripes with 1969. I have a lot of gripes with time travel episodes, but I still love them.
Oh, you're about to be found out, Tilk.
Yes.
Yeah, let her
you just
go.
gave yourself away.
There's no way around it.
Great shot.
It was I really like that shot. That was great.
Oh boy, now you must explain yourself.
Hello.
Yeah, Hammond had his arms up over his head really early.
Yep.
Just knew it was coming.
Oh.
It's like you're surprised.
Because this is what I do.
Yeah, it is what he does. He's always betraying him.
Betrayal is his middle name.
I love the way they come back into this room, and it's just, I always find this amusing, just the way they did this.
Yeah.
You've been got. The way they've got Daniel in that light, like just right there, and they're all surrounded him being like, sup.
Oh, the worst kind of surprise party.
Yeah. Isn't that the actor that's also appeared like a gazillion other times and also in Battlestar Galactica? I don't remember what his name is now.
Quite possible. All right, we're leaving this up to Sam and the Asgard now. Aww. Deja vu. Who do we look like?
Feeling much better now. I love that line so much.
So good.
You're a god.
I was right.
Okay.
Know? That Jafar was Ty Olsson, who's Kelly in Battlestar Galactica, and he appears in season 9's The Fourth Horseman Part 1.
Oh.
Yeah. I recognized him, like his lower jaw. I could barely see his face. I could see his lower jaw, and I was like, that's Ty Olsson.
Interesting. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Jafar here, and he's a member of the SGC in season 9. Don't pawn him off. Don't pawn off this problem to Daniel.
To have your team's back.
Yeah. Help stall. Don't make Daniel stall. So
that
that look is like, I can't believe you've done this. You're doing a bad job, man.
Rip.
Ah, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's
nice.
not though. Yeah, it's Ty Olsson. Look at him. Yeah.
Oh boy. We need a just in the nick of time a plot twist at this point.
Yeah.
There we go.
We certainly do. Dying minutes of the show.
I'm glad they managed to take
coming at the last minute and taking all the credit.
Their busy war with the replicators to come and save Earth. They were like, "What? We didn't know."
We'll take a recess.
Yeah.
We'll come and help Earth.
The replicators are probably made out of Legos in this reality.
I'd love that. Oh my god, imagine. Oh, I'd love that so much.
So we're about to find out that the Asgard can reanimate the dead.
Yep.
Which is kind of cool.
Cool shot.
I love Kowalski's face there. That he's got such a grin. He's like, he's so happy.
Oh,
I do hate that you can see
dude?
the stairs on the left where they're all clearly falling down at the end.
He just made it through.
Sure
Look
did.
at that.
Cowards. With the staff weapon getting cut off, does that count as like did he make it through?
Yeah.
Because that staff weapon is part of him.
I think he made it through. Yeah.
So isn't it things gonna go through in one piece?
It
So it's like, okay. I've always wondered that.
Cool shot.
I love seeing the gate room shake. Well, sorry, the control room shake.
Yeah, all those other dead people, they've been dead for too long, so the Asgard aren't going to fix them. But they can fix him.
Reanimate Jack.
Gotta love those guys.
I would have really loved if they could have brought Jack back in this reality and have Sam and Jack reunite and see like the other kind of Jack that she ended up with. That would have been magical.
They even fixed his shirt.
They did.
Oh.
She loves
it's like the sarcophagus.
Kisses.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. Woo!
Wow. That
Yvie,
wide shot of Cheyenne
Thank
Mountain.
you, Thor.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Now, oh my god, this is actually such a massively awkward scene, though, because everyone is watching them make out.
Yeah.
But I love it. I'm like, yeah, watch yourself in another reality make out with the guy you like. This is what I'm living for. This is kind of stuff I read in books.
They're both into it as well.
Oh, sorry, I just thought of a really awkward sexual situation. Moving on. Her.
Also, when Tilk and Daniel go through the quantum mirror, the image isn't reversed. So in
Correct.
Tilk's right hand, so he touches it with his right hand and then it goes to his left and vice versa.
Yeah. Calls himself a loser here.
Yeah,
like, you're not a loser. You're so cool.
Respect for himself.
No, a lot of self-deprecation. This part was weird because I feel like Daniel isn't really aware of the Sam and Jack dynamic, while Tilk's always kind of been slightly aware. But like Jack gives him the nudge to get out. But it's like throughout the entire show, Daniel seems so oblivious, but Tilk doesn't. And it's like that little nudge there where he's like, get out. Okay, so I'm about to lose my mind now.
Oh, jeez.
But everyone's watching, guys. Like, are you guys into this?
Turn around over there.
Yeah, respect
that alternate reality.
Yeah, shield your eyes.
Yeah. Except Sam, you watch. Amazing. This is a long kiss.
Yep.
God, I hate that we cut away. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see all of this. Amazing.
Why, thank you.
7 chevrons, guys. That's a 7 chevron kiss.
That is a 7 chevron kiss for sure. It's the fact that she goes in twice for the kiss at the end and then like strokes his hair and you're like, excellent.
Yep.
Well, now it's like awkward. Now it's like, It's Daniel, don't watch. It's so awkward.
I guess Sam excused herself at the last moment there. Oh, there she's back.
The way Sam looks at him right at the end, she's like, this is so awkward.
Yeah.
Sigh.
What music. Joel did a great job.
It's a great piece of music.
Yep.
So, guys, why hadn't the quantum mirror been destroyed a year ago? Because, like, obviously, if Daniel was able to access an alternate reality, it could have been used by others to access our reality. So isn't that a bit too risky?
1, they didn't fully believe him. 2, story reasons.
You know, I've got a very silly question. I don't know if this is a really silly question, right? But why wasn't, like, out of all the things that they stole, why wasn't Mayborn's team stealing the quantum mirror, just running over, nicking stuff from everyone, and then coming back through? Because our planet and universe would be none the wiser if Mayborn's team were running over and stealing stuff.
Nicole, it's obvious. Story reasons, Nicole. Story reasons.
It would have been so good. That would have been such a good way to do it.
You know, God, I think the quantum mirror does play a role in some of the books for sure.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot more alternate universe stuff.
Plot point.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the quantum mirror, and I love Sam and Jack, shipper for life. Woo!
Point of view. Well done, everyone.
What an episode, guys.
Indeed. You got your shipping
on. My heart is full.
My heart is also full.
My heart is fine.
It's the same. It's the same. I mean, Evie, like, melting. I've
got like those heart-shaped pupils.
Yeah, I would give anything to wipe my memory of that episode. So you should have seen me when I was like 13, 14 and watching that episode for the first time, and I was like, I like. Oh, by the way, with an opportunity, that was the first time I ever saw them kiss. No, Broke a Divide. Sorry, Broke a Divide. The first time I ever saw them kiss, but that was like didn't count because it was that window opportunity. I remember I sat there, I paused it, and I stared at it.
Yeah, that's Jack.
For a really long time, and then I ran to my grandma in the kitchen and I was like, "Oh, what happened?" And she was like, "I don't understand what's happening." I'm like, and it was like I was about 6 when I did that. And my nan was like, "I don't know what's going on." So yes,
can you do me a favor, Nicole and Yvie? Can you run to your email?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there something? Did you send it to the right email?
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
I love you so much, David. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna print it out on a photo and frame it, and then put it next to my bed and look at it and cry, just like Sam. Oh,
it's
David,
so good.
This is such an emotional stream for me, guys. Like I'm like, David, you've given me something I've been trying to get for like 4 years since that guy told me I couldn't have it. Oh my god, it's like it's the clarity.
My heart is like right here in my throat.
I feel it. Oh my god. Okay. Oh,
you're just feeding the beast, David.
I know.
You brought 2 shippers to this week's episode. We're no longer Yvie and Nicole. We are Sam and Jack shippers. Okay, it's like
we are captains of this ship.
We are the captains.
How are you gonna rate these, guys?
Oh, look, I'm not going to pretend it's perfect. See, I don't know if I want to go like a 7. I think I'm going to go with a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with a solid 6.
Okay.
So I think for me this would probably be like a 5. Because of all just it's not there but for the grace of God excellence. Like nothing is going to get close to that, like this episode is really fun there and really good. It has a lot of messy little problems, but like A Matter of Time in 1969 we go meh, it's a good time. Also I got to see Sam and Jack just this episode is the most shippery episode we're going to get in the whole show.
Sam and Jack.
Yes. A Sam and Jack episode. So I am going to give it a 6 because I got to see them make out. And everyone got to watch.
I will give it
and also
okay, go ahead, Yvie.
No,
you go.
I will give it a 6 as well.
Wow, guys.
The sci-fi element to it is great. The action is great. The what if is great. The acting is great. The music is great.
That's a good point.
Kowalski was back as well. That was another
Kowalski.
Yes, absolutely. This is an episode that is making use of the history that the show has created, and it is what's the word? The word that I'm really looking for. It's rewarding its audience for continuing to watch.
It basically solely utilized all the ideas, a lot of previous stuff that we'd brought up before, and it delivered on like a promise of a good time.
Previous episodes are bearing fruit. So.
Yes, and it's
like I said, it's exploring life's what ifs, but with extra hair.
Yeah. And it's bearing extra fruit in the form
and existing sets. So it's a bottle episode.
Yeah, it is a bottle episode. And this is what I mean as well. Like this is what I always say every time it happens. My favorite episodes tend to be the ones where they stay in the base and their problems only happen on the base, because during bottle episodes the creativity like spikes.
Yeah, you spend more time with the characters.
It's exactly phenomenal. So 6 is all around for us, guys. Isn't that fun? I love what you said. Nicole is happy again. Damn right I am. I am very happy. So
let's all suck it up, guys, while we can.
Yeah. Season 2, I was so miserable. Season 3, have you noticed how much happier I am now that we're here?
You're very perky.
I'm very perky. I cried last episode, and I was still in the better mood than during season 2. So with
my god, I'm going to be ecstatic next season. Go. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I would give this episode 5 chevrons. I've had a hard time giving a low score to time travel or alternate reality episodes. We all do, yeah. Plus Jodie Foster contact style phase shift was one of the best effects, yeah. Raj Luther said my rating is 5 out of 7. Anthony said it's another 5 from me. Mac Boland's conscience said 7. Whoa, me and Yvie as shippers didn't say 7s because like it didn't hit the mark enough somehow. But Mac Boland, nice Mac Boland. I appreciate that. He said he watches this episode frequently, but he's not a shipper though. That's okay though. You really like it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Gecko Fett said 4 out of 7, fun episode, but that was about it. I'll take it. I'm not offended in any way. You go ahead. Dan Ben said 5 out of 7 for an episode I like. Jed Ted said 7. You go, Jed Ted. And Lewis Cox said it's a solid 5.5. Wait, what the? Oh, David, darn you.
What?
Is that a 5?
Someone did a point.
5 out of 5. So it's either a 5 or a 6.
Round up.
So yeah, I'd say
if
6.
you're leaning that way, round
Anthony.
up.
Yeah. Sorry, my nan's trying to sneak the dog into the room while I'm on stream. Oh, well, this is so unprofessional right now. Please, I'm busy. And then so I've got Dan Ben saying, I was a teenager when I first saw this. I wasn't into the love relationship, and and then Lockhart said thanks Nicole, Yvie and David and the staff and the mods for a great
Absolutely,
weekend.
guys.
Our pleasure as always.
Yeah.
Especially this week.
Yes, I really enjoyed that episode, and Evie and I are big shippers, and
Really?
I've got a lot of,
No.
I only
lot of
wrote fan
flack.
fiction for like 4 years.
And I respect this, but shippers get a lot of flack on the internet for being shippers because people are like, oh, like you only really care about the romantic side of things. I love everything, but the romantic side is no, but the romantic side is such a beautiful small part of Stargate that when it turns up, we just get really excited because it's so rare that it's there.
Yep.
I'm just here for the chemistry. I think they have incredible chemistry. And I like that they didn't. I guess there's a part of me that likes that they didn't technically get together in the end. Like it was a big tease, but there was always little hints. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, I'm always heartbroken.
It wouldn't have been the same if it was just sort of served up to you on a platter.
I always loved Stargate and I was always a shipper, but I remember I hit a point, I was about 16, 17, and I remember it was like summer holidays. So I wasn't in school, and I sat there and I just rewatched Stargate again for the 1,000th time, and I went, hold on a second, I need to really go down the Sam and Jack shipper hole. I ended up rewatching the whole show in random points, and then rediscovering things I hadn't seen in my childhood. For example, Beneath the Surface. I always remember it being a bit shippery, but I think some of the nuances and some of the conversations kind of blew over my head because I was younger and I wasn't like I didn't understand some of the stuff like when Jack says, oh, I remember having feelings. And she's like, oh, for that, and it's like, no, for Tor. Yeah. You can quote all these moments, but and so I remember I went through like a summer where I went crazy and I found the behind the scenes deleted scene from Atlantis where I lost my mind.
Yes, from Trio.
And then I'm always looking and scouring for it, but now I think I found everything and Evie's found everything, so we no longer need to look, we can now just appreciate.
Well, I appreciate you guys. No, you're good. I appreciate you guys continuing to go through the show with me, and I appreciate everyone who's tuned in for continuing to bear with us through this, and in some cases have a good time. And Anthony for always being there and keeping track of all the sats. That's
I
really
appreciate
cool.
you, Anthony.
Yes,
I'd like
thanks,
to send
Anthony.
you some chocolates at some point.
Yeah.
Since you're in the UK and that'll be cheap. If you're in America, I'd go, David, you do it for me.
We got your book, so
I got my book. Yeah, David ordered me a book that I already have like 7 copies of. So I need the American ones. So yeah.
All right,
sorry guys,
gang.
I'm a lunatic.
We're going to let y'all go. Thank you for tuning into Wormhole Extremists this weekend. We will see you next weekend.
Yes.
Let me pull this up here real quick so that everyone can see.
I'm just looking at my calendar because it's all over there. Yeah, next weekend.
So we have Rob Fournier, Armorer, Stargate on Saturday, June the 24th at 12 noon. More is going to be popping up here real soon, so keep an eye on dialthegate.com for that. And then Saturday, June the 25th at 1 p.m. Pacific, Dead Man Switch and Demons.
Yes, on my birthday.
I have mixed feelings on these episodes, but I'm looking forward because I haven't seen Demons since I've seen it only once. So I really didn't like it very much.
Really?
I'm not a huge fan of Demons. Either,
I've only seen it once. It's like up there with Bane for me with hatred.
Wow.
But that's only because I've seen it once, So
I quite like Dead Man Switch, though. That's okay.
I enjoy the guest performances.
I actually want to ask a quick question I forgot to ask earlier, Yvie, which is in addition to the trivia thing from this week, which is, do you think the Wormhole Extremists has made you better at trivia?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because,
there we go.
I do my research for the episodes,
exactly,
which leads to other episodes, and plus I've just recently commenced another rewatch of the series, and I think I'm just paying a lot more attention to the smaller details, so
more into your long-term memory without even realizing it. Because when I did that with the Omnipedia, people were like, for years, not so much anymore, but for years they're like, how do you remember so much? It's because I was deliberately doing research. I wasn't watching it casually. And that's what happens. So.
Yeah, I researched lots of random stuff just out of boredom because I loved Stargate so much. And it was from a young age, so it stuck with me, which is why I don't practice or watch any episodes before we do trivia. Because I'm like, well, it's in there, and I don't know what the episode's going to be, and chances are I'm going to know it because I there's no way I can watch all these episodes again in such a small amount of time and do it because I've got so many other things I want to do. Yep. But so I'm really glad that Yvie, that you're improving and that you're learning more and more every time, because it's great. It's great. No, I mean it respectfully, as in like, you're learning so much and you're a more recent fan, so you haven't had as many years to
That's
get
fair.
I am
memorizing. So now you're getting all this
Yep.
memorizing done, which means that you're coming onto like a more level playing field with everybody.
Yep.
And it's like excellent, because I want you to win more
competition.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah, more competition. Yell at me.
All right, gang. If you liked this episode, please click that like button.
Yes, please.
We appreciate
Please.
it. And we'll see you next time on Wormhole Extremists. Bye, everyone.
See you on the other side, guys.
Bye.